Delaware County's only live television newscast from Ball State University's Unified Media Newsroom. You're watching NewsLink Indiana Midday.
Welcome to NewsLink Indiana Midday. I'm Kamara Munn. This past Saturday, Representative Victoria Sparks hosted a town hall meeting at Muncie City Hall. It did not go as she had hoped. Shown here are photos from Ball State Daily News. For 2 hours, Sparks answered questions while people yelled over her answers and booed mentions of President Trump and Elon Musk. Chants of "do your job" and "tax the rich" were frequently echoing throughout the room. Representative Sue Arrington attended to hear out Congresswoman Sparks, but couldn't get in due to the building having reached maximum capacity. More protesters stood outside the building. Arrington showed support for them, saying she hoped it would allow Hoosiers to see what's happening in Washington and how it affects them, as well as they don't have to sit at home. If they are upset, they can come out and show that. Congresswoman Sparks had to say this in response.
This is organized by Democrats. They did a lot of social media posts. A lot of them were standing in very radical groups in my district was standing all day to make sure that they can get in first, because we even expanded capacity for the first town hall. It still was, normal if we don't have so many people, because ultimately that's agenda, organized group of people. So they wanted to make sure they get in, and they were professional protesters, agitators. They do it in other places, that they get in first, that they can flood the room, that a lot of legitimate constituents couldn't even come.
Sparks also held a town hall in Westfield on Friday with similar protests. Some Americans are rushing to buy cars before potential price hikes from auto tariffs set to start Thursday, but Wednesday can be an even bigger day for U.S. trade. That's when the president says he'll unveil reciprocal tariffs. Amy Kiley reports a few of his comments yesterday suggest those could be even broader than expected.
You'd start with all countries.
President Donald Trump now says reciprocal tariffs he plans to unveil Wednesday are on the table for all nations. That's after the Treasury Secretary told Fox Business earlier this month the focus was on those with the largest trade deficits. Trump also now says any deal related to the duties will come after they begin.
The tariffs will be far more generous than those countries were to us.
Meanwhile, 25% tariffs on imported vehicles are scheduled to start Thursday. Duties on parts are set to follow.
Most likely prices are going to go up by a few $1,000s at least, but it would vary from brand to brand and maybe even from model to model.
Trump says he, quote, couldn't care less if car prices rise so long as more manufacturing comes to the U.S. Analysts say a major supply chain shift would take years. In the meantime, U.S. companies would have to pay the tariffs. Economists say that likely would raise prices for consumers.
You can't overrule the laws of economics with an executive order any more than you can overrule the laws of gravity.
Experts say those laws of economics apply to more than just cars. They predict Trump's other tariffs also will raise prices and lower demand.
When you combine that lesser demand with what we're seeing in the decline of consumer investor confidence, you could well see a slowing of the economy.
I'm Amy Kiley reporting.
Trump also said yesterday he plans to use the threat of additional tariffs as leverage in talks with Iran and Russia. El Paso, Texas introduced a new way to combat people illegally entering the country. New mobile infantry units called Strikers are used to detect and track people trying to sneak across the southern border. Reactions from residents are mixed. Christian Andrade reports.
Holy how much money is that costing us? How much money is that costing us? A lot of money? Millions and billions of dollars?
That's pretty cool. They should have some more. I mean, protect the border more.
Right behind me is the M1256 Alpha 1 carrier, also known as Stryker, which are going to be used right here in El Paso to help the El Paso sector of Border Patrol protect the southern border.
Border Patrol agent Orlando Marrero Rubio explained what they'll be used for.
It's a force multiplier for us here in the El Paso sector, helping us detect, track, and apprehend individuals that make illegal entry into the United States.
While Rubio mentioned the Strikers' enhanced detection monitoring capabilities, he also said the appearance itself could lower illegal entries.
Officer presence goes a long way. So that's part of the show of force here in El Paso sector. So the visual, the optics of vehicles like these, it's a deterrent factor.
However, several residents I spoke with are concerned about the message it's sending to the community.
Okay, that makes it look like a war zone. El Paso, not a war zone.
Now, Border Patrol agents say since the strikers got to El Paso about 24 hours ago, they have yet to detect any illegal entries across the southern border. However, reactions around the community are mixed.
You think that they could use the money in different areas than that, like for the homeless?
But I think it's better to also help out the Border Patrol and the cops and everybody like that.
The Border Patrol says it will soon deploy more strikers to assist in the mission. A Paris court has convicted far-right figurehead and 2027 presidential frontrunner Marine Le Pen of embezzlement and banned her from running for political office. The court is yet to announce whether the ban will come into immediate effect, which would scupper her chances of winning the French presidency in 2 years. Le Pen, currently a member of the French parliament, was found guilty alongside 8 MEPs from her party and 12 assistants. The Paris prosecutor had requested a prison sentence of 5 years, including 2 suspended, a €300,000 fine, and ineligibility to run for office for 5 years. Prosecutors had requested the ban to stand even if she appeals. Following her trial in November, current French Justice Minister Gerald Darmanin posted on X that it would be profoundly shocking if Le Pen were to be barred from elections. Severe weather is striking the southeast. Thunderstorm watches are in effect from Louisiana to Georgia, with forecasters calling for hail, heavy winds, and a few tornadoes. Some areas, including parts of Louisiana, Mississippi, and Alabama, could see flash flooding. Monday's threat could affect more than 80 million people in several states. Severe storms claimed at least 2 lives over the weekend. A truck driver in Indiana had his vehicle blown over by severe winds, and in Oklahoma, a storm knocked a tree onto a trailer, killing 1 man inside. Let's take a look at today's NewsLink Indiana weather. These are the conditions right now. It's 43 degrees under mostly cloudy skies. Expect a dreary, blustery day today with a high in the middle 40s. Expect big swings in the temperatures in the 7-day forecast. Highs will pop out in the 70s on Wednesday before potentially strong storms bring back cooler weather. A new study suggests not getting enough of the right kind of sleep may increase the risk of Alzheimer's disease. The 2 critical sleep stages are slow wave sleep and rapid eye movement, or REM sleep. Experts say most adults should spend between 20 and 25% of their night in each. The study found not spending enough time in these 2 stages may hasten the deterioration of parts of the brain associated with Alzheimer's. Secret Families of Delaware is a Christmas charity that has been helping families for 2 decades. This weekend, a Ball State fraternity will be hosting a tractor pull, a fundraiser that gives several families Christmas cheer. NewsLink Indiana's Graham Hackett reports.
Right now, it's just another street of Muncie, but on Saturday, this stretch of West Riverside Avenue will be shut down for tractor pull, a unique competition that raises thousands of dollars for secret families. But what exactly is Secret Families? Founder Alan Holdren has the story.
We simply provide Christmas for every school-age family in Delaware County that would not have Christmas. We simply go out and provide a bag of presents, a decorated live Christmas tree, a Meyer gift card, and a Bible to each of those families.
Every year, Secret Families provides Christmas for over 400 families in Delaware County, with help from the annual Tractor Pull fundraiser.
Basically what we do is we shut down Riverside, and we pull some tractors, some fire trucks, some Penske moving trucks, and then a SWAT vehicle for time. And the winning team gets a big old trophy and bragging rights for the next year.
While the Tractor Pull is a fun-filled event for everyone, its true purpose is to bring the community together in support of this great cause.
The impact that it's had for us is that we've gotten fraternities, really, and sororities, and Ball State athletics have all gotten involved with this, and it's got them to come out the day of the event and help. The money, it provides anywhere from 6 to 12 families a year that if we didn't do this, they wouldn't have Christmas.
Tractor Pull will be on April 5th at 1101 West Riverside Avenue from 12 to 3. The link to create a team is on Sigma Phi Epsilon's Instagram at BSU SigEp. In Muncie, Graham Hackett, NewsLink Indiana.
If you can't make it to the tractor pull, you can still contribute to the cause by visiting secretfamilies.org. And that's your NewsLink webcast for today. Thanks for joining us, and be sure to join us tonight at 6:57 on Ball State PBS. And for news anytime, anywhere, go to ballstatedaily.com.